Hello, welcome back. Today we're going to be playing 60 Seconds Reatomized. We have now got 46 out of 60 achievements. The last one we got was the feline domination, which is like, I'm the Captain Meow. We figured out more about the cats and how they work, so we're going to go ahead and start a new game. And we are aiming strictly for the, whatchamacallit, we're aiming strictly for the cat lady ending. So we're going to play as Dolores on this one because we're going to try to use few people. So why not do the cat lady with Dolores and the daughter? And we're going to do 2 people just so we have somebody recovering while the other one's doing expeditions in the beginning. All right, let me get cozy in my chair. And yeah, so what are we aiming for? We need, well, I may just pick up the son because it's going to be easier to carry him. It makes more sense. Father-son time or mother-son time kind of thing. We need a lot of food. I know that much. We need a lot of food. So we will begin adventure. And what's the item that gives us a lot of food? Checkerboard. So we need the checkerboard and then some defense stuff, some food. That's the main thing. So let's see what we can do. Let's see if we can get this final cat ending. Let me see. What all do we have? Yeah, checkerboard's right here. We'll just start here. We'll just start here. We'll get the checkerboard in the suitcase, I think, will be the best bet. And then it's just a matter of surviving. Alright, and then that's the bathroom. We need to go to the exit. Axe is right here, so we'll throw that in. Flashlight's fine. We'll just throw it in. Alright, where is the son? He was right here. Grab him and a couple things of food. Medkit's right there, so we need to remember that. Alright, toss that in. Since we're not getting any people, this will make it a little bit easier. Okay, we got more food. Get this stuff out of the way. We can probably grab the map. Let's get that food. I think the radio is good because it gives... Oh my goodness. On the way out, grab... Oh my gosh, grab it. Oh my goodness, we barely made it. That was insane. But I think we're okay. We'll leave the daughter and the son in the house, and we are just going to do a mother and son run. So, Tora achievement update. We have gotten 522 items from the expedition. We need 1,337, so we're making progress. That is at least something. Make sure everything's still recording. It is. We're good. All right, so let's give them some good hats. You know what? A big pot on his head actually sounds fun. Oh, we got so many now. What do we want for her? Yeah, we'll give her that. Dainty. Alright, what all did we get? We did okay. We got a padlock and bullets and stuff. A gun. Okay. Timmy is safe, and that's what matters. We barely got here in time by ourselves. We have no idea what happened to Mary Jane and Ted. Maybe they're okay. We can't remember bringing those supplies down to the shelter, but we're not complaining. We probably should have stocked it better anyways. Well, looky here. One of us must have hid this inside a suitcase a while ago, so it was lucky we took that suitcase. Nice. So we got rifle and bullets from the suitcase. We got deck of cards, padlock, and harmonica. So we got a lot of defense stuff. We don't need to give them water until the 5th day, and then food and water on the 10th day. So we're a regular family, so we have the occasional argument or two, but it's never been as intense as the fight we just got into. No one wants to speak to each other. Let's just hope this won't last too long. But yeah, so the main goal is to do the cat ending. We learned more about what the items do for us when we take them on adventures, which is going to be nice. We stopped arguing, but for how long? If there was anything to report about Dolores, this is where it would have been written. Okay, so we're good on pretty much everything. We're definitely sending somebody out as soon as possible. We woke up to a dripping sound today and noticed there was something leaking from the pipes. That green liquid looked innocent enough, even after it ate through the table and chair. Okay, this sucks. Because I would have loved to use one of these two. I don't want to use the suitcase. We actually need that. So we're going to risk it and hope we don't get sick. We got a med kit if we do. And we got items to get a med kit if we do get sick as well. Okay, we're fine. Good deal. We couldn't figure it out, so we just assumed that's what a regular pipe would do in the event of a nuclear apocalypse and decided to ignore it. We've been feeling a bit funny today, though. Probably no connection to the pipe. None whatsoever. Let's just double check that they're feeling good. Yeah, just thirsty, just thirsty. Who's going out? The mom is going out with the suitcase. Checkerboard is for food. Yeah, they should get a lot of food for that. Let me see. We could do the cards for a lot of water, because we want to get just as much as possible. We could also do the harmonica for water as well, and it gives a random item. So let's just do this and try to get as much food and water on this run as possible. Because if we can just stock up a whole bunch, we won't have to worry about really anything, and we'll just need to fence things. We also want to try to get at least one more expedition thing on the vehicle to make progress on the Panzer achievement. Because you have to do it each run, you have to do it. He can wait till tomorrow. There isn't a lot of space down here. We can smell everything. When one of the bricks got loose today, it revealed a hole. We felt pretty sick. Is the smell coming from the hole? It's terrible. Should we investigate and remove the source of the stench? Yes, we can get a can of food from that. We could possibly get injured too. Okay, he didn't get injured, so we got a can of soup. We looked into the hole, fearing something might come at us with claws, fangs, or mutated sharp body parts, but nothing happened. Instead, we found a dead rat who was trying to break into a can of tomato soup. He failed miserably. We have a feeling we'll be luckier than him, so we confiscated it. We gave the rat a proper burial in an empty can. He deserved that much. Alright, let's see. So he is thirsty. We gotta give him water. We might be safe inside the walls, but there are other problems to consider. None of us can sleep properly. We have to deal with this as soon as possible. Otherwise, we might be falling asleep in the face of real danger. Like saucer men from Mars. Okay. We're going to ignore it. We don't want to waste our medkit on that. It may postpone. Oh, he went crazy instantly. Give him a can of soup for a hat. I should have probably done it, I guess. Bravely ignoring our symptoms, we tried to get at least 1 hour or two of sleep, but no luck. We're even more tired than we were, and there are other problems we need to face soon. Let's just hope our yawning will be enough to scare raiders away and save us from the radiation sickness. So, he's tired. I don't mind the craziness, but the tired's going to mess us up. Alright, so this is the gambling. We didn't think we'd have a chance to increase our food supply by simply playing a card game, but that's what we were offered when a man knocked on our door today. 2 cans of food, we win, we get his 2 cans, we lose, we give him 2 of our cans. What are we going to do? Nothing, because we don't have the cards. Who offers to gamble with cards when they don't have cards? I would make dice out of rocks. Something. Like anything besides just open the people I knock on the door have a deck of cards. Gambling is a terrible habit. What kind of example is that to set for the kids? We need supplies, but we're not getting it like that. So we'd sooner rob somebody. We sent that man away. Good riddance. Crazy, tired, thirsty. Ever since we jumped into our fallout shelter, we've wondered about that other door in the shelter. Should it even be here? What does it where does it lead? It's high time we check it out. Yeah, we'll use the flashlight. Check it out and see what's going on. Yeah, we'll see what's happening. Why not? Why not? Alright, so it says we inspected every corner of the room and we found nothing. Well, that was a waste of time. That's fair. Hungry, thirsty. We got 2 more days till we need to feed them. A group of doctors knocked on our door today requesting some supplies that we would be helpful in refilling. Their first aid kits, we didn't doubt they were the real deal for a second. They have lab coats and everything. Yeah, let's give them water because that'll heal us in the future if we're like sick, which could be an issue in the future. So we'll go ahead and do that. She came back. We didn't get any water, but she's sick. We asked them for their doctor's license, but all of them claimed they left it in their other pair of trousers. We didn't ask if there was just one pair. We gave them a water bottle and wished them a good journey and better luck with the trousers. We were glad to see Dolores come back. So we lost the checkers and we lost the cards, but we got the harmonica. During our expedition, we stumbled upon the ruins of a familiar building, our local bank. Although a place like that might not have been the ideal source of useful supplies, we decided to go in anyways. You never know what you might find, except for bags of cash, obviously. It looks like it was robbed just before the blast. The vault was cracked open with saws hidden inside teddy bears. Who does that? Anyways, you can see why they wanted to rob it so badly. The place was filled with tomato soup cans. How did it end up here? Maybe the mail had delivered to a bank instead of the food bank. Plus 4 cans. We found a shopping bag on the floor next to the counters. It contains a couple of rotten bananas, a hand cream, a pair of bunny slippers, and some bottled water. Tempting as all those treasures may have been, we limited ourselves to taking the water. We thought this dark alley with supplies neatly stacked at the end looked promising, but our complete surprise, it was an ambush. A bandit came out of nowhere, tried to intimidate us with a rifle and some really bad breath. Both aimed in our direction. We panicked, tossed something at him, and made a run for it. The harmonica we threw at him right in the forehead, knocking him unconscious. We got a gas mask. The checkers are gone. Gone. They didn't make it from the waste. Those cards we took with us outside, well, they're staying outside. Okay, so now, and I've been taking notes on these, now we know that the harmonica gives us, I'm guessing, hang on, because it says right here, 2 water and a random item. So we got random, question mark, gas mask. So we can try to use it again. If the items break, then it doesn't count. But if they're used correctly in the wasteland, then you'll get stuff for them. The checkers, there's a potential to get 3 soups, 3 waters, and some bullets. The cards, there was supposed to be 2 water, a map, and a radio, or one of the other, like one of each. I did the cards once and I got 2 water. So I'm guessing it could be any of those 3. With the harmonica, it says you get a random item or 2 water. So right now we got the gas mask. It may be the random item. I'm not too sure. We spotted some sort of vehicle down the street. We couldn't get a good look at it in the dark. Maybe future expeditions will prove fruitful. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do her a med kit. We're not going to do an expedition right now because Timmy's still tired, but we may send him. A group of people dressed in green pajamas knocking on the door of our hatch is not something we anticipated, yet this is exactly what happened. Furthermore, they insisted they are the merrymen and wish to take from the rich and give to the poor. We're pretty poor, so maybe we can make some new friends. I don't think we're poor. We've got a really good stash of stuff, and I don't want to lose it. We're going to say no, because we got a decent amount of things. So she should be better now, but she is tired, and I think Timmy is too. We didn't answer those peculiar calls and kept the door locked until the noises outside faded away. We're not exactly sure we want those people to come back. They sounded harmless enough, but can harmless people be trusted in these troubled times? They may be worse than those who don't seem harmless at all. Alright, so she is tired, thirsty, starvation. He's still tired as well. We'll give them both everything. We're going to hold off again. We don't care for the radio to be used, but we're going to use the suitcase and take it with us next time, as well as a gas mask, because we don't want her to get sick. And then we'll also send her with the harmonica again and see if it makes a difference. They say ignorance is bliss. Another day without a clue of what's going on might not necessarily kill us. Alright, where's she at? Tired and hungry. He's tired, crazy, and starvation. We'll give him one more because we got plenty of food. Alright, yeah, we're going to hold off another couple days. We're going to team with the mom on this automatically. What's that glowing in your pocket, Timmy? Oh no, mutated ants. Their terrifying little mandibles almost gave Dolores a heart attack. She wants them out. But Timmy says it's the beginning of an atomic ant farm. One of them has to have their way. But who? The mother. You're not keeping mutated ants, Timmy. You're crazy. Alright, let's see. Okay, Timmy's not tired anymore. We could send him. On the topic of an atomic ant farm, Dolores put her foot down several times. She swatted and stomped furiously with a look of glee on her face. Until all the insects were dealt with, Timmy was mortified. I'm worried because he's crazy, and I don't know if that affects the expedition. So we're going to send it and hope that Dolores isn't tired tomorrow. If she is, though, we are sending Timmy with a suitcase of stuff. We're not doing... Well, we may save the suitcase and just send him with... I don't know. Okay, she's back to normal. Good deal. Good timing. There's one thing we need to do is discuss is use the radio on a regular basis. We're not doing anything with the radio aside from sending it to the wastelands. She's hungry and thirsty. He's crazy, hungry, thirsty. We're going to send her with the suitcase, gas mask, harmonica, and radio. My radio. Alright. Let's hope for the best on that one. I think it'll be fruitful. I hope so. If we can get a ton of food and water, we really need some more water. I'll stop with the expeditions, and we're just going to try to survive until Shurikov comes. We're going to wait till the next day for him. For an isolated fallout shelter, we sure have a lot of disturbances. Something has been making a lot of noise since dawn, and we couldn't sleep. Seems to be coming from under the floor. Coincidentally, we found a manhole that could we could use to go and check down. Oh my gosh. Okay, apologies, I'm reading wrong. And coincidentally, we just found a manhole that we could use to go down and check what's going on. Yeah, let's use the flashlight. Hope he doesn't get injured. We may end up just doing a solo run with the medkit. Oh my goodness. We found a treasure down there. Pills, bottles, and other medical supplies were stacked on a few shelves down in a narrow room. Just enough to stock our first aid kit. Good for us. We didn't find the sources of the noise. Good deal. He is both. Day 16, I'll feed and give him water. Okay, we're not answering the phone. Day 16, we're going to give him food and water. We're going to try to hold off as much. Oh, he disappeared. You know what? Solo run with Dolores. We believe in you, Dolores. Alright, let's see. It's way too dangerous to just be running and to just randomly run to a ringing phone in the middle of a radioactive ghost town. We're not taking any chances. It took a while before the ringing stopped. It was pretty annoying for all of us. We're glad to see Dolores come back from the wasteland. Got the hiccups, hang on. Goodness, that's how my hiccups work. I usually just have one or two and then they're done. It's a blessing. We quickly discovered that the local supermarket has become the base of operations for a raider group. They are armed and dangerous. Sometimes they would leave to plunder and ransack the area. Even if it's risky, that was the best time to try and steal from them. Sneaking through the store shelves provided us with a few soup cans, plus 4. We were in a rush because the raiders could come at any minute. We grabbed a few things at random. One of them turned out to be bug killing spray. The wasteland can be boring and stressful. Good way to unwind is to take a short break on the side of the road and playing a song or two on a trusty harmonica. Sometimes it attracts nearby survivors who might even sing together with you. Hang out for a bit and give you a parting gift. How lovely. We got cards. Exploring the wasteland can be quite exhausting, so we stopped for a rest a bit and turned on our radio, hoping to tune into anything else other than static, and so we did. We managed to catch a frequency with some lovely songs. Those sweet tunes soon attracted a small group of friendly survivors. They stopped for a while to enjoy the music with us and were kind enough to share their water. They left soon after, plus 3 water. A bunch of radioactive dust got stuck inside of a harmonica when we took it outside. Well, it was fun while it lasted. The vehicle down the road looked like someone's work in progress. We observed it afar. Who could be the owner? We've kept our distance for the time being, but we may want to take a closer look in the future. This could potentially be our ticket out of here. Alright, let's see what exactly happened for my notes. So we took a break on the... Hang on. So I think these were just random. Supermarket event, the base of operations. They are armed and dangerous. Sometimes they would leave to plunder or ransack the area. So yeah, so the food and the bug spray were just part of the trip. Because I had the suitcase, I could carry more food. So the suitcase, I think, helps you get more on your regular random stuff. So we'll write that down just to keep an eye on that. Suitcase. Potentially more carry for random event on expedition. Okay, and then whenever we broke out the cards, or no, when we played the harmonica, that's what gave us the cards. So far the random item thing is looking pretty on point for the harmonica. We played the radio and we got 3 water. Is that what was on the list? Only 2 water was listed. Okay, so radio, 3 water. Yeah, so the radio gave us 3 water. Okay. Alright, let's keep it going. What does she need? Hungry and tired. We're not going to send her out, obviously. And we have a lot of stuff. We played a game of list the things you hate the most, and our neighbors came up for some reason. That reminded us of a little weasel had a safe in his living room. We always wondered what's inside. Maybe now's the time to finally find out. But who will do the honors of stealing the possessions? Okay, so we're going to send Dolores, obviously. There's a potential for her to get hurt, but we have a med kit, so I think we may just get benefit regardless. She is sick, though, so that's not cool. When we opened the safe, we heard a loud bang in the room filled with a thick, nasty smoke that smelled of rotten eggs. The guy booby-trapped the safe. Sure, it slowed us down, but it didn't stop us from taking his most prized possessions. Take that, Ned. Too bad we won't ever get the stench off our clothes. So the checkers is something we need to take out into the field. We're going to heal her. She's too exhausted, so we're going to hold off. During the night, we heard some suspicious sounds coming from behind the door. When we peeked out in the morning, we saw a leather suitcase. It has no address or name on it. We're pretty sure it's meant for us. Let's go ahead and open it, because I'm trying to just do the most I can. Maybe I should have saved the suitcase and opened that first in case she gets injured. Okay, she didn't get injured. Alright, we gladly accepted the sudden gift, and despite our suspicions, it turned out it was a regular tomato soup can that we know and love. Thank you, kind stranger. Okay, now we're hoping to see... We've got a crazy amount of food. We need the cat. She's too exhausted. Our supplies are scarce and our morals are low. You can almost smell the desperation in the shelter. We're pretty sure there's a small group of survivors nearby, mostly old folks from a retirement home. I don't care to do all that. We don't need to go risk anymore. Only thing we need to do is wait for Shurikov, and we may do one more expedition with the suitcase, radio, checkers, and maybe the cards again, because that seemed pretty decent. Well, gas mask, actually. Robbing innocent people? Absolutely not. We are not savages. We cannot stoop that low. It's important to keep our values, even in these troubled times, especially in these troubled times. Let's set a shining example and leave these poor people alone. That's fair. She's dehydrated. We'll wait till tomorrow. She's too feeble. Can't let her go. We're not using the radio, so we're going to skim by that one. Knock at the door. Please be Shurikov. There's one thing we need to do is discuss using the radio. Probably not. Okay, give her water. She's confident she can go outside, so we'll set that up. We're about to finish our dinner, if you can call it that, and we had someone knocking at the door. It seems like a trader, very interested in ammunition. Yeah, we'll give him ammunition. Why not? Maybe we'll get something beneficial from it. We need to stay in, actually, because in the days of 20s, it was happy to get some ammunition. In return, he offered us rations. It wasn't much, but it was something. Always better than nothing. Thinking about it, to be honest, I was going to send her out, but we actually need to wait for Shurikov to get into the shelter first. And then send her on one more expedition before we just stay in the shelter the rest of the time. Dolores barely has any strength left. She doesn't eat tonight. She will not make it to the morning. Yeah, why not? We're fine on that. It's not the best time or place to make plans for the future, but we cannot help thinking about what we can make of this terrible situation. Is our house still standing, or will we have to move to some forsaken hole like Toronto? Sheesh. Not Toronto. Up there in Canada. We can make it work, even in Toronto. Question is, how do we find a boat to get there? We heard that's the best way to get to Europe. Okay. Okay. We got scared a little bit today when all of a sudden our map just fell off the wall. Maybe our shelter is haunted. When the map fell down, it revealed some sort of safe behind it. We don't remember installing it, but we could probably crack it. Well, we technically have all the time in the world to do it, so should we try? Yeah, why not? What's in the safe? I don't think I've ever seen this one. I don't think I've ever seen the safe. That's crazy. I don't see anything new. Ammo. Nice. We're not sure how or why the map just decided to slide off the wall, but we're lucky that it happened. Inside was a dusty safe. Inside the dusty safe, we found some supplies. That's freaking cool, actually. Wait till next day to give her water. Please show up, Shurikov. Please show up. Okay, we got the phone call, not Shurikov. That's okay, I guess. We're not answering it, but... what is this? Dehydration. We're not sending her out yet. We had thought of phone calls were a thing of the past. after the atomic bomb obliterated everything in our little town. However, a phone booth on our street survived the bombing somehow. It seems it's ringing right now. We should send someone to answer it. Alright. It's way too dangerous to randomly run to a ringing phone in the middle of a radioactive ghost town. We're not taking any chances. It took a while before the ringing stopped. It was pretty annoying for all of us. She's going crazy. There's only one of her. She's fatigued now, so that puts us in a weird spot. I could really use that Shurikoff now. Man, it's rough. There's one thing we need to do. It's discuss using the radio. Okay, she's starvation. We can feed her tomorrow. Got a visit from a person with a physical mutation. He managed to grow several extra fully operational hands. He shared the story of his group with us. People with other deformities who, despite the circumstances, remain friendly and struggle to gather supplies. Wherever they go, people just shoo them away in fear of getting sick. He promises that if we gift him some supplies, his group will help us get rid of the bandits the next time they bother us. Yeah. We're gonna give him, I guess, a can of food. Nice. Please be the trader. Please be the trader so I can start prepping for the expedition. Feels good to have some friends in a cruel, empty wasteland. A few of our supplies is a small price to pay when it comes to the safety of our family. Okay, she is starving. Open in the name of freedom! Came a shout from outside the door. I'm not opening that. Well, you know what? Open in the name of freedom! Came a shout from outside the door. We weren't sure who claimed to be representing freedom, but what we could hear was a group of people, probably armed. Anyone who introduces themselves like that is probably planning to kill someone in the name of freedom. Should we open it? I don't think it's going to be raiders or anything like that because we have the mutants either way, and it's still a decent day. Let's hope for the best, though. You never know. Okay, I think, yeah, we're solid. We regretted opening the door the minute we saw who was standing on the other side. Dark faces, rifles, and a determined look of a band of teenagers. We're doomed, we thought. Then out of the blue, one of them asked if we were with the Reds. We never supported the Red Sox, so we confidently said that we weren't. The tension dropped immediately, and those nice young people gave us 2 bottles of water. They also told us that no fear, since Wolverines are around. We're not sure what Wolverines have to do with all of this, but we took their word for it. Dolores, okay, so we got 2 bottles of water. We still haven't met Shurikoff. Oh, Shurikoff, there he is, actually. Alright, now we're going to do one more expedition, take everything we can, and then post up and do the couple of Shurikoff things and just wait for him to multiply. As soon as the door closed behind the traders, our back started to violently shake, emitting screeching, hellish sounds. Terrified, we backed up against the walls. When the beast finally escaped, it turned out to just be an angry house cat. The feline gave us a menacing look and promptly sat down in the corner to clean itself. Its collar says Shurikoff. Is that its name? Okay, fatigued and hungry. She's fatigued and hungry, but I think she's fine. The first aid kit we have is useless. We probably won't be able to fill it up with prescription meds from a drugstore, so we need to take matters into our own hands. Here's an idea. Let's use this innocent-looking bug spray to create a life-saving drug. Is that... I don't... Okay. I've never seen this. I've never seen this. I want to do it, but we're set up for this ending. I'm not doing it. It's not risky. We're going to send her out, and we're going to send her with a suitcase and a couple of items. And that's where we're at. That is where we're at. She's fatigued and hungry, but that's okay. Send her out with the suitcase, gas mask, checkerboard, and we'll do the radio again. Yeah, we'll do this, and we should be fine. Maybe the map would have been better. I don't know. Alright, she is back, and we are set, and we are not going out again. Dolores is on her way to the surface. Let's hope she'll make it back safe and sound. We're glad to see Dolores safe from the wasteland. So we lost the checkerboard and radio. A majority of the local gas station was destroyed. Gasoline reserves blew up too, and it probably did more damage than the atomic bomb. The only thing left intact was the cashier's booth, along with some cars and the gas price board. War or not, prices are still growing every day. There was an abandoned truck in line for the gas pump. We immediately recognized the logo of the well-known company on its side. Yep, the canned soup company. A few water bottles were scattered around the cashier's booth. None of the explosions damaged them, though it is funny how that pipe's shadow got burned into the wall. Okay. When we were passing through the ruins of the bar, we ran into a soup vending machine. We couldn't find any spare change, so we decided to prying the checker pieces, and it worked. So the checker pieces give 3 cans of soup. Is that what was said? Yes. Checkers. 3 soup. Nice. So we know that's one of them. The checkers are gone. They didn't make it back from the waste. We shouldn't have taken that radio out with us. The fragile old box is broken now. So we didn't get anything that time for that. But that's okay. We're not sending anybody out. A young singer approached our shelter this morning, encumbered by 2 different guitars, a big backpack, and a weird contraption holding up a harmonica in front of his face. He asked for some supplies in exchange for a folk song or 2. Do we share? Yeah, we'll give him a water because we need the food for later. But let's see what this does. I don't think I've ever seen this one either. I'm getting some new events, and I'm liking it. His songs brought tears to our eyes. With good, talented Americans like that, hopefully the times are a-changin' for the better soon. The sound of his guitar kept blowing in the wind towards us as he was walking away. Our love for music moved him so much that he gifted us a working radio. Oh, yeah, I've seen this. Never mind. I think I've seen it one other time. Hungry, fatigued, tired. We're not messing with the radio. Calm down, Shurikoff. I think we're gonna make it. I think we're gonna make it. Boop. Boop the cat on the nose. Alright. There's nothing there but the radio stuff, and we don't care too much for that. We're gonna wait till tomorrow to feed her. We're not sending anybody out. Shurikoff is still a fresh addition to our little family, so we decided to keep an eye on it. And believe it or not, just today we noticed something else on its collar. It seems to be a metal plate with an address on it, and it's not far. Should we take a quick trip and see who's there? Or see what's there? Yes. Now, this is going to take us to the Men in Black people. Then the cat will return. It'll find a wire. We follow the wire. They get mad, and we ignore the door when they knock on it, and we just keep it moving. Before we reached to the end of the street, we were stopped by 2 men wearing dark coats and stylish hats. They rushed towards the cat to pick him up, saying they'd been looking for him for a while now. Supposedly, Shurikoff belongs to an old lady who's rather fond of it and misses the little guy dearly. We shrugged and went back to our shelter. The cat didn't seem to care, so why should we? Good thing we didn't get too attached to the last few days. Alright, she needs food. We'll give her water tomorrow. Thought we had phone calls or a thing of a pass. Don't care too much for that. Alright, let's see. Now we can give her water. Alright, and honestly, I may possibly go on one more expedition. I don't know. We finally got a good look at this vehicle down the street. A tank. No wheels, but it was reinforced with metal grills. But where were the weapons? That kind of vehicle needs weapons. Let's go out there with some equipment and find something fitting. We'll do the... We need the padlock for the raiders, potentially, so we'll do the map. We'll do the map, and hopefully it helps. Alright, the map was destroyed, which is fine. Looking at the map gave us an idea. We visited a centuries-old battlefield on the outskirts of town, and we pushed an antique cannon all the way back to the vehicle we found. The map somehow got all torn up in the process, but our project looks truly majestic. The trip was very tiring and resulted in some injuries. There are a few experiences more horrifying than having a cannon drop on one's foot. Is she injured? Oh no. Wait, the doctors. We had doctors for a moment. I'm hoping they will come and help us. We don't have any pictures. We don't have the book for Brian, for the Uncle Brian, I think his name is. Oh man. We need the doctors to come and heal her. Boop. Boop on the nose. And so we're left with no photos, no news, and no happy thoughts. The world is cruel. To our surprise, we found Shirkoff back in our shelter this morning. We're not exactly sure why or how, but it came back. Is it our good care it appreciates, our kind heart's optimism, or just our stockpile of soup cans? Only time will tell. Okay, Dolores, I'm really counting on you to not get diseased and hold out, okay? We always thought life could be much better. That was before we got nuked. Now we think life could be much better. In a way, not much has changed. Okay. I hope the doctors come and cure her. Boop him on the nose. Yes, little kitty. Living in the past is not wise in our current situation. We need to think of today. We need to think of today and tomorrow. She is fatigued, hurt, tired, thirsty, hungry. Oh, goodness. Curiosity almost killed the cat. Shirkoff found a tiny wire sticking out from the ceiling and pulled it out. Plaster and debris fell on our table, topped off with a big meowing furball. What is this thing anyways? Nobody remembers it being there before. The cat might get angry if we take away the wire. So maybe it's best to leave it be. Or should we examine that wire? Yes. What was that? I guess her going out. I'm assuming. We followed the wire outside and found a half-burnt out truck with two surprised gentlemen inside, surrounded by an array of blinking bulbs. That's some space tech right there. Were they listening in on us in our very own shelter? Their feeble excuses about roadside picnic didn't convince us. Even Timmy knows you can't have a picnic here, and the car had no wheels. Alright, she is still injured and stuff. We'll give her water tomorrow. You know, we could give her water today. She's injured. Let's baby her. We don't care too much for the radio. Okay, we got a knock at the door. I think it's going to be those men in black. We need to ignore them. What does she need? Nothing at the moment. She's no longer tired and such. Wait, is she better? Oh, wait, hang on. Actually, when the group dressed in lab coats came back over a while... hang on. Sorry, getting ahead of myself. When the group dressed in lab coats came over a while back asking for water, we had doubts about their identities, but no more. They came back today and gave us some injections. We don't know what was in it, but we already feel so much better, and all the colors are so bright. Okay. Alright, she is solid now. Boop on the nose. She's just fatigued, tired, and hungry. Agents who were spying on us are now at the door and they want to explain themselves. Should we hear them out? No, thank you. We don't need to hear that. We don't need to hear that garbage. I heard a roach, but we got the cat, so we're all settled. Yeah, we're not falling for that top secret agent crap. They were just big phonies. We told them to go straight to heck and never come back. Starvation. Let's just go ahead and give her one. The trash can is becoming full of soup cans, and that unmentionable bucket is overflowing. Both of them are attracting strangely glowing, suspicious big insect wildlife. Roaches weren't that big before the war, were they? We don't have to use any of our supplies for this. We can save it for potential trades because the cat will kill spiders and roaches. So he's a good cat. See, look at him. Yes, sir. We underestimated the value of a cat in this environment. We thought we had a cockroach infestation on our hands, but Shirkoff took care of it while we were asleep. Was it reminded of its hunting days before the bombs dropped? Was it mesmerized by the roach's glow? Or does it have an undeniable thirst for fresh cockroach blood? We'll never know why, but we're grateful that we don't have to deal with the insects ourselves any longer. Is she anything? She is dehydrated. Tomorrow we will give her water. Last time we went on an expedition, we noticed an abandoned tank just sitting there in the open. We don't need to do this. This is the one with the tank that actually doesn't need to be done. It's either a bomb, like a trap, or you can get some supplies, and we just don't need to do either. We've got supplies, and it's not going to help anything. It's just there. Alright, let's see. We decided against it for the inspection of the tank. For all we know, it could be a trap or simply a burnt-out wreck. Not worth the time or effort. She needs water. Alright, there's a phone ringing. We don't really care to answer that. Alright, it's way too dangerous to randomly run and answer a phone. Yes, that is correct. Alright, fatigued and hungry. We've been hearing a lot of noises coming from our neighborhood today. Our guess is that there was a zoo that escaped and the animals are stampeding up there. It would be a good chance to hunt for some fresh food. I kind of want to risk this for the food. I think she might get injured though. Let's find out. Let's find out together. Okay, she's not injured and I think we got some food, hopefully. Yes! We found a herd and we were able to bring down something that looked like a two-headed donkey that was carrying a package of sorts. Before we could get to it, a giant bird of prey swooped down, grabbed the carcass, and flew away. All that remained were a few cans of soup that fell out of the donkey's pack. Good deal. We've got a crazy amount of food. We are definitely getting it this time. There's no doubt in my mind. We just have to get the cat to start doing stuff. I think I'm going to send her on an expedition, though. Because I think some of the items are goofing us up, and I want to break some of them. So I'm going to take the suitcase, and I'm going to take a few things. And we can prevent her from getting sick, too, so. Alright, so we're going to send her suitcase, gas mask, of course. We'll send her with the radio. I don't want to send her with anything else. Maybe bullets. What does the ammunition get? I forget. Random item, gas mask, medkit. Yeah, we'll do that, because I would like to get a new medkit, just in case for her. So we'll send her out and hope for the best. I hope this doesn't mess it up. Okay. Okay, we found a few things. And we got the medkit. Nice. Alright, looks like Shirikov snuck out to hunt in the wasteland last night. This morning, we found a dead, glowing rat on our doorstep. Shirikov seems pleased with his gift for us and quickly expressed its disappointment when we threw it far from our home. Nothing good will probably come from touching dead radioactive rodents, though, so maybe we should have just left it where we found it. Alright, Dolores came back. We were glad to see Dolores came back. The atomic wastelands were hostile by definition, but there's some creatures that survive everything you throw at them, even nuclear bombs. One of them was a monkey who seemed like it's been through a lot, and yet it was very lively and more than happy to accompany us on our expedition. While we explored one of the streets, our monkey companion ran away, only to come back moments later carrying a can of food. It couldn't open himself, but it was happy to share it with us, so we got 2 food. At one point during the expedition, the monkey started making weird sounds and digging in front of us with a stick. A quick investigation revealed a few bottles of water. No one even tried to open them. The same couldn't be said about those bottles of booze laying next to them, so we got some water. The monkey took us outside of town, and what seemed like a hidden bunker, it contained some medical supplies. During the trip, we lit a fire to warm up a bit. It wasn't long before we had a few bandits standing next to our fireplace demanding we give them all of our supplies. In a sudden rush of adrenaline, we decided to toss a few bullets into the fire. Nice, so the bullets can give... Hang on. Okay, so the ammunition can give the book. Ammunition, book. Random? So it says it gives a random item, but it also says that it'll give a gas mask and medkit. So I'm thinking it's just super random item in general. I don't know. What followed was a barrage that sent those dudes running with their pants on fire. In their haste, they even forgot a few of their belongings. A book. That ammunition we took with us, we don't have it anymore. It might sound paranoid, but someone followed us. Let's hope it doesn't happen again. Okay, so we're not going out anymore. We are done. We're done with that. We just need to stay and hang tight. When emptying our bucket in front of the shelter, we discovered a hastily drawn map on the ruined walls. Someone drew out a route. Okay, yeah, we don't need to go check it out. We need to literally just hang tight until Shirikov starts to multiply. That is all we need to do. Either that or get to 111 days, because, I don't know. We're not going to run around like Knights of the Round Table following some madman scribbles on the wall. The world is crazy enough as is. Okay, fatigued, tired, hungry. It's really weird when you get that feeling that something is watching you. Our shelter is tiny, but this has been bugging us for a while. We checked all the closets and no one's hiding there. Is there something alive down here besides us? Maybe a rodent of some kind? If so, we need to show it that we are the dominant species in this little paradise of ours. We'll use the axe. I don't want it to break on this one, actually. Usually rooting for that, but not right now. Alright, good deal. Whatever it was, it's dead now. Quite dead. Maybe there's more hiding somewhere in one of those nasty little holes. Okay, what is she? Starvation. We can feed her tomorrow. We were discussing plans for our first meal that didn't feature tomato soup when we heard yells outside. We discovered they came from a small group of ragged survivors. They were a sorry sight, and we weren't surprised when they requested aid. They asked us to provide anything we could: food, water, medical supplies. You know what? I'll give them some water. I need the food for the cats. That's messed up to say. Sorry, bud. I can't have food. I need it for my cats. I need it for my kitty cats. What cats? Well, I plan on having kitty cats. I'm going to get them, and I need the food for them when I get them. Our visitors had problems finding enough words to express their gratitude. Many tears were shed, smiles and hugs exchanged, and they wished all of us the best. It's a great feeling helping someone out. They left soon after to seek shelter in the ruins of our town. We hope they make it out there. Okay. We're just going to give her both. Would you expect the post-apocalyptic time to be a time of peace and quiet since, you know, most of the people aren't around anymore? Yet, here we have someone at the door. When we opened it, we encountered a strange-looking man in a blue jumpsuit who asked us to trade him a water chip. I forget what this gives us, but we're going to give it to him. We need all the karma we can get right now just to survive this run, you know? The visitor wasn't very happy we didn't have a water chip, or that we didn't know what that one was. He did help himself to the water we offered him and explained the chip is of utmost importance. Before we learned anything more, he left for the wasteland. Oh yeah, the water chip is a reference to Fallout, I believe. I think that's funny. They did a lot of good references in this game. We could trade bullets for the mask. Today, we were visited by a strange-looking little man who introduced himself as a trader. He insisted his prices are so low that it's practically like cutting his own throat. The least we could do is take a look at his offer, although for some reason we don't really trust him. We'll trade him the gas mask for the bullets. The weird man tried to make us buy fried cockroaches on a stick, covered in some mysterious sauce. These snacks look pretty disgusting, so we turned him down, but we bought something else for him. He looked a bit disappointed. What does she have? Fatigued and hungry. She's fine. We're not doing the radio stuff. We need Shurikov to multiply. This is frustrating. Come on, Shurikov. Because we're not answering the phone. We're not doing the radio. Wait, hang on. Don't skip. Check. Starvation. Let's just give it to her. We had thought phone calls were the past. Yeah, atomic bomb, etc. Man, this is rough. This is really rough. Because we need this event to happen, or else we won't get anywhere. Where's she at? Dehydration. We'll just give that to her as well. Next time we're going to wait a couple days before we do all that. 4 waters, though. 4 waters for a radio, and I hate the radio. So that actually works out pretty well. So take the radio, brother. Give us some water. We got plenty of supplies now. We are stacked, man. We are stacked. To be honest, it's like I could survive the 111 days. Fatigued and hungry. Don't need none of that. We always steered away from casinos, gambling dens, and the like. So when a man came up to the door and told us he used to be a gambler, we were suspicious. He invited us to play a game. He proposed 2 water bottles and a bet. Water bottles, bet, and a card. You know what? We just won 4, or we just got 4 for the trade. Let's go ahead and bet 2, and maybe we'll get another 2. If we lose 2, it's like we traded the radio for 2, and that's still a good trade as well. So let's see what happened. Maybe we'll get lucky. Nope. Dang it, that man must have cheated. We lost him before we could argue about it. The man left with our supplies. You know what? I'm getting tired of trading. Almost every time, or gambling. Every time I've tried to gamble with this, I've lost. Before the world turned into an unforgiving dead wasteland, we were friends with almost everybody in our town, including an old man Jim, who would shamble through our street often and always said hello. When we wanted to visit him once, he gave us an address that took us to a park. Old man Jim was such a joker. It appears that he survived the blast, since he's at our door right now asking if we want to buy a rock. Yes, because he helps us later on in the future, which is really nice. Old Man Jim was always lovely and friendly to everyone, so of course we opened the door and fulfilled his request. He winked at us and told us the first rock is for free, which we were happy to hear. A nice rock is a good thing to have, but we don't think we will be able to trade any of our supplies for it, even if it brings luck like he claims. Where's she at? Thirsty, hungry. She's fine for now. We don't have to worry about the spiders because we've got Shurikov. He will kill the spiders. Good job, Shurikov. Give him a little boot for that. Good job, buddy. While we were asleep, Shurikov made short work of those pesky spiders. It chased them around until all of them ran away through the cracks of the shelter. Let's hope they stay gone for good. Where's she at? Dehydration and starvation. We'll do that both tomorrow. So this is what it comes down to. Sitting idly in a shelter and very few supplies and growing sense of impending doom. If only there was something we could do about it, like breaking into our neighbor's shelter. We know the lock is broken and we saw her restocking the shelter before the bomb fell. No, we actually don't even need to risk it. We've gone before and they've shot at us and injured us. We just don't need to. It's perfectly fine to just not. We're no bandits. Sure, we need supplies, but not at the cost of others. We won't bother these people. A man who takes canned soup from another is not worthy to taste that soup. Let's just hope that everybody else out there is as decent as our family. So give her both. We don't have a radio, so we're going to skip that. Please give me the... Please give me the freaking teleportation fridge or whatever. Man, this is rough. I'm not getting the one I need. So we got to feed on 76. Surviving down here is no walk in the park. It won't get easier. We're hopeful this will blow over soon and life will be back to what it used to be. Or else, we might face dangers we've never dreamed of. Okay. We're fine for now. I don't think we have any tell of any bandits or anything. I don't want to jinx it, you know, knock on wood and such. Boop on the nose. Some mornings we feel a bit hopeless. We need to pull ourselves together and be more optimistic. The army can't be far. Alright, what does she need? Food. Backpack. This. Alert! This is a gang of firefighters outside. Or at least they are dressed like ones. They've been banging on the door, ordering us to surrender all of our supplies. They claim they will drive us out with fire if we don't comply. Guess the definition of firefighter has somewhat changed recently. How do we oppose them? I kind of want to do the bug spray. It's the least needed, you know? We'll do that. Okay, cat? Whoa. Using the bug spray seemed like a good idea and it slowed the bandits down, but they still had enough firepower to storm into the shelter and steal some of the food. They left quickly, so maybe we didn't lose all of our cans. What happened to Shurikov? Seems awfully quiet outside. Hang on. Okay. Whew, thank goodness I thought he was gone. I was panicking. I was like, what? We still got a lot of stuff. So the bug spray sucks against defense. It'll let us not get screwed over, like lose, I guess, but it's not like an end-all. While outside, we found something resembling a fridge. We carried it in eagerly to our shelter, thinking it'd make for a useful addition and a way to turn the room temperature tomato soup into delicious ice-cold tomato soup. Excited, we pressed a bunch of buttons, trying to find the combination that makes cold happen. While we were distracted, the cat ran past us and slid into the appliance. We tried luring it out, but it seems intent on staying in there. There are worse uses for a broken fridge than a cat house. Alright. Yeah, we're in a great position now. We're in a great position right now. I think we'll be fine. Good job, Shurikov. Shurikov continues to occupy the fridge. Meanwhile, another cat somehow entered our shelter when we were asleep and ate some of our soup. We tried throwing a new cat out, but its claws are too sharp to argue with. Yeah, this guy. Vera. She is dehydrated. Let's just go ahead and give her something. We're ignoring the phone. See, now I wish I had the radio to possibly fill up events so raiders don't come. There's Baron. It's way too dangerous to just randomly run to a ringing phone in the middle of a radioactive ghost town. We're not taking any chances. It took a while before the ringing stopped. It was pretty annoying for all of us. Another cat showed up in the shelter overnight, and with it, another soup has disappeared. We don't know why these cats keep coming, but we can't seem to get rid of them. Alright, does she need anything? She's fatigued and hungry. We heard a knock at the door this morning. We held our breath for fear, but as soon as we heard children's voices coming from outside, we decided to open up. It turned out the voices belonged to a pair of Girl Scouts. They used to sell cookies, but now they have branched out and sell other items too. We don't really need the bugs. Well, maybe. Actually, because the bug spray did slow down getting raiders. So I guess it's better than a flashlight. So we'll trade that for that as a defense thing to make sure we can last long enough for this, because this is tricky. And here's the cat that almost looks like my cat. My cat's still sleeping on the chair. The girls are very kind, and their prices were more than fair, so we gladly accepted their offer. How very clever of them to keep their business alive even after the apocalypse. We're impressed. Just when we thought it couldn't get any worse, now there are 3 new cats in all. And 3 empty soup cans. How do we stop this madness? Alright, so Dolores is hungry and fatigued. She's fine. How much soup do we have? We've got quite a bit. We had some spare ammunition, but now it's gone. We don't know how. I don't really care too much about the ammunition. Okay. More cats. Where's this one? What's this one look like? Oh, this little guy right here. Hey, Matt. It was too dark to find those tiny bullets without a flashlight. They aren't lost. Technically, they're still in the shelter. Technically. Alright. This seems highly suspicious. With 4 new animals in the shelter, we're starting to think Sherikov's new home might not be an ordinary fridge after all. Maybe it's some kind of secret cat communication device? Okay, she is starvation. I guess we'll just give her one just because. Man, no, because we need the food. We'll wait till tomorrow to feed her. We'll wait till tomorrow to feed her. Another cat. Another cat, another cat, another cat. Oh, look at this guy right here, little Siamese. His name is Myth. If there's one thing we need to do, it's to use the radio on a regular basis to catch any emergency broadcast that might be transmitted in our area. It's either that, or it's strolling around outside waiting to get picked up. The first option sounds a bit more sane. Last night, we slept with one eye open and saw it. The thing is no refrigerator, it's a cloning device. Early in the morning, there was a small flash of light emitting from the machine, and another vile creature materialized right next to us. When will this end? Do we even have enough supplies to feed all these hungry mouths? Yeah, just give her both now. Alright. Somebody trading. Okay. I wish they were trading for food. Two of them for the book. I mean, yeah, we'll just do that. Yeah, screw it. That works. That works. She's gone crazy. Wait, who's this guy? Who is this guy? Paka. Okay. After making the trade, the man packed his things into the wheelbarrow and departed. Before leaving, he uttered something about bandit activity nearby and how dangerous the area is. Shirkov, we see you sitting in that cloning fridge making imperfect clones of yourself each and every night. We don't know why you choose to torment us and take away our precious soup to give to your brothers and sisters instead. Did we hurt you somehow? Or is this your very nature to sit in every single box-shaped object the world has to offer, no matter what the consequences might be? We'll give her food. At breakfast, we heard a knock at the door. It was a man in a rather excessive number of arms. He had told us his group was having a hard time finding supplies. Wherever they'd go, they'd get shot at first and ask questions later. It's probably because of their appearance. The friendly mutant presented us with an offer. In exchange for supplies, his folks would escort us on an expedition and make sure we come back safely. No. I don't really... I mean, I'll give them something, but we're not going on an expedition this late in the game. There's no way. Okay, we got this one. His name is Rad. I don't know how many cats we need, though. And I'm getting nervous because we have 6 left. Okay. We were relieved when the man assured us that his condition is not contagious. We gladly took his offer, and we're actually looking forward to our next expedition. We don't know how much longer we can go on like this. Not only is our food rapidly dwindling, but we're also starting to question our sanity. Maybe we're all just hallucinating. That's it. What does she need? Fatigue, crazy, hungry. The cat is growling in the general direction of us and our supplies. We're not sure if cats drink soup, but it's the only thing on the menu today, and it's up to us if we want to share our tomato. Yes. Yes, share it completely. The end. We got the cat lady ending, everybody. We finally did. Who is this, bro? Izia. Okay. And this one, playing with the roach. His name is Solid. This is so good. This is so good. We got all the cat endings. Finally. It's been such a pain, and she is crazy. Oh, it's so amazing. It's so amazing. Finally. The little devil utterly devoured the whole can in less than 60 seconds and left nothing behind, not even a drop. After that, it took a long, peaceful nap. At least it won't bother us for a while. They just keep coming. We give up. Please, make it stop. The cats have instituted their supreme regime upon our shelter. With them as our guardians, we don't need to live in fear or despair any longer. The days of happiness are coming, and we'll be handsomely rewarded with a relative peace and enough soup to feed our hungry bodies. Hiccups. As long as we remain obedient and serve them. We welcome our fluffy overlords. Good deal. Good deal. That was such a painful ending to get, and to be honest with how things were going, I wonder if we could have hit 111 days. We could have done another expedition. It would have skipped like 3 or 4 days. It'd have been like, what was that, 89, and then we could have just kept running it. We probably could have got that other achievement. At least we kind of have an idea of how we can do that. Because we're figuring it out. We've got this. You survived, kind of. Alright, you guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you subscribe to see more if you want to see more. Or leave a comment to let me know what you suggest. You know, like the video. That kind of stuff really does help my channel. It genuinely does. It helps the algorithm and everything. But hey, I hope you have a good night, and I hope your day is really good, and I hope tomorrow's even better. And I will talk to you here next time. Goodbye.